What's up? What's up? Happy Friday, 8:30 East Coast time. Cigars. I'm already halfway done. And coffee. Today's show is going to be a little controversial. Let me know where you guys are coming from. Also, let me know if you guys gotten your book, Magician vs. Mule. Have you ordered yet? Magician vs. Mule. Here we go, right here. Magician vs. Mule. Get your copies. Got something going on with that. I'll keep you guys posted. Anyways, topic today. Quitters always win. You might be thinking, what the hell is this guy talking about? As you guys are coming on real quick, let me know where you're from. We're going to start here because a lot of people are coming on right now. I see them looping in now. So the live broadcast is going live. Let me know your name and where you're from. Give a shout out. Let people know who you are. If you got a website, feel free to let people know your website. What's up, Daryl? Detroit. Mike, good morning, Mike. His book's not yet. What's up, Rob? Did you guys order it yet or not? I guess that's because, again, Amazon's like slow in getting it delivered, which is fine. I have no control over that. But get the book, get the book. What's up, Sean in Omaha? Thank you guys for being here. So hopefully today, what's up, Nelson? What's up, buddy? Thank you guys for being here. Dylan, Ohio in the house. What's up, man? Cleveland's in the house. Thank you guys for your support, first and foremost. If you haven't got your book, please get it at magicianversusmule.com. We'll be doing some cool things not next week, but the week after next, mid-May. I'm going to be doing a cool free training for everyone that gets a book of the transition from mule to magician. Hopefully make your process and experience and shave off about 10 years at least. Minimum. It took me a lot of years to figure out what I share in that book, and I want to kind of talk to you guys and help you navigate that. Excuse me. So today I was walking, thinking about you guys about something I've never heard anybody talk about this subject, about quitting, right? Quitters always win. And I was thinking about this conversation because every single person watching me right now, what's up, Bradley? What's up, Paul? What's up, guys? Every single person watching me right now has quit and are quitting and probably should quit more often. I know, it sounds crazy. Now, before we go deep diving into this conversation, every single person, the most successful people you know in your life, and I'm talking the highest of the highest levels, they're all quitters. They've quit to get to where they're at. And you might be thinking like, this guy's nuts. What is he thinking? Whatever. But here's what I'm thinking. When I say quit, like we talk about thought auditing all the time. When I say quit, what do you hear? Do you hear failure? Do you hear pivot? Do you hear loser? Do you hear, you feel like you're getting picked on? Feel like you let people down? Feel like you let yourself down? You feel like your identity's tied to that, so therefore you can't. See, when I hear quitting, I don't hear you quit and it's end all be all. Quitting to me, just so you know, when I say quit, like the hard quit, that means death to me. I'm dead. I quit. I'm tapped out. The man upstairs said, Evans, your number's up, my man. I quit. That's what quitting is to me. So as I'm sitting here thinking about, because I want to share real life stuff with you guys, I grew up in a small town, Ohio, and my parents are hardworking, amazing people. And construction, I loved going to work with my dad. I loved it. I loved everything about it. I loved getting up in the morning. I loved getting in the van. I call it white van moments, getting in the van, sitting in the middle in a bucket. Now you probably go to jail if this happens. My dad's on one side, my dad's driving, my Uncle Gary's on the other, and I'm sitting on the bucket, or it's me and my dad only. We're heading to a job site, 5 a.m., 6 a.m. Windows are down. My dad used to smoke back then. Windows would be down. I'd be freezing my butt off. He'd be drinking coffee. I couldn't wait to get to the gas station because I knew he'd let me get Mountain Dew and pecan rolls. And as I'm sitting there, like, what we don't know at that moment is like, I'm being molded. I'm being molded. My thoughts are being created. My conversations, my identity is being created in those moments, right? At that time, wake up, get in the van, go to work hard, enjoy it. I enjoyed it. It's a good defensive mechanism. If you don't enjoy it, it's going to suck anyways. Might as well enjoy it. Turn it into the best thing. I couldn't wait to get to the job site, grab the spikes, show my dad I could hit the nail in one swing. My hands would be all blistered up and bloodied up, whatever. I loved it. I loved everything about it, for real. There's days I hated, but listen, what else am I going to do? I'm a contractor. I'm a construction worker, right? Just like my dad, just like my uncles, just like everyone I've seen around me in my life. My identity, right? So when I graduated high school, barely, by the skin of my teeth, I think they just kicked me out just to get me out, but that's a whole other story. I was never going to college. I knew it was never in my plans. I had zero desire, zilch. And I bought a seamless gutter company a couple days after high school. Owner financing, I had no money, no credit. I had nothing except, I wanted to work. I wanted to do, seamless gutters, by the way, is construction, right? You get the van, you got to go to the job sites, you got to get the material, you got to bust your hands up, you got to climb ladders, you got to measure, you got to do all the stuff that I knew that I could do. It was easy. I've been doing it. My dad did. I worked with my dad from the time I can remember and just did stuff in construction field. So during that journey, to be honest, I would not be here today at all, not even remotely close, if I didn't quit. If I didn't quit being a construction worker. If I didn't quit being a contractor. If I didn't quit being the wannabe investor. If I didn't quit a lot of things. And again, when I say quit, I pivot. I remember very distinctly sitting in my old Chevy 1500 truck, red truck I had with rainbow spouting on it, coming back from a project, knowing that I'm going to be a real estate investor. I'm quitting the seamless gutter company and I want to become a full-time investor. I'm quitting. I drove on Route 70 in Columbus. It takes about 45 minutes to get to my parents' house. And I was driving and I was sad because I was literally quitting on my identity. I was so scared to quit that I had to quit. I had to quit. I had to pivot. What got me to where I'm at today isn't going to get to me to where I'm going tomorrow. I can't make millions, tens of millions, hundreds of millions of dollars and make the impact I want by doing seamless gutters. I can't make tens of hundreds of millions of dollars being just a real estate wannabe investor that kind of dabbles. It's a hard job, a lot of moving pieces, a lot of risk, there's just a lot. I had to quit being an investor and start being a business owner that did real estate. I had to quit. So when you're quitting, you're pivoting. And right now with what's going on with the coronavirus and everything, people are still in lockdown and such, you're probably having doubts. You're probably tied to your identity so much, so deep. Like, for example, you probably have that degree sitting on your wall you look at. You have 200 grand invested in that piece of paper. You were proud of it. The truth is, you probably didn't want to continue halfway through the journey to get it. But mom and dad, grandma, grandpa, everyone around you busted their ass to get the money to afford you to go there and or gave you the identity that you should stay there because you don't want to disappoint them. Well, guess what? It's your life, not theirs. When I started having this realization, when I give I don't care what you think. I don't care what my mom and dad think. I don't care what my grandma and grandpa think. I respect it. I respect them. but I don't, their decisions and what they think I should do or shouldn't can be heard, but I don't need to do it. They could be acknowledged, but they don't need to be heard. Just because mom and dad busted their ass to get you to college to be the accountant doesn't mean that's what you want to do, and doesn't mean that's what you have to do. It's scary. It's uncertain. But I can promise you, when you live like that and you move, like, the only person that truly deeply down knows what you want is you. And the problem with that, or the opportunity with that, I should say, is that if you don't identify it and thought audit that out, you're always going to be stuck as a victim. I was talking to someone very close to me yesterday, and they're like, oh, I'm a POS and piece of shit, right? And all that stuff. I'm like, what are you saying that for? You said it, not me. Well, you blah, 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 blah. Well, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, hey, you should, I expect more out of you. That's it. Like, you saying you're a piece of shit, that's a problem on your side, not my side. You know what I mean? The identity that we carry around with ourselves, one of the biggest lies, by the way, is that treat others on how you like to be treated. Well, I can tell you right now, and again, this is the extreme side of it, but if you're treating your partner and they like to be choked out when you're having sex with them and you don't, and you're treating them like you're not going to be their partner for long. It's a little over the top, but it's true. Maybe they're into some crazy shit that you're not into. And if you're treating them like you, they're going to say, yo, you're boring, I'm out. What you got to do is you got to listen to people. You got to understand what people want. You got to conversate. It's called communication. Something you're probably struggling or dealing with right now with being locked in the room with the individuals today. You're actually communicating, hopefully in a productive manner. You're talking about things you've probably never talked about, right? You're probably talking about where the kids are going to go to school next. Are they going to open up? What are we doing? How are we getting closer together? What's our new dreams? What's our new goals? You're quitting on your old goals. You're quitting on your old self. That's okay. It's okay. Now, I'm not saying start something and quit just to quit, by the way. Let's just get that clear, right? Actually, I'm going to have a talk with my son today. True story. Last night, for the past 2 nights, he's like, Dad, I want to go on a walk with you in the morning at nighttime, right? 6:15ish, 6:30 or whatever. And I'm like, all right, cool. You're going to go, right? Yep. All right, I'm going to wake you up at 6 o'clock. You're going to get up, right? Yep. Well, I went in there to wake him up because I was already up for an hour and a half, 2 hours. I went in there to wake him up. He was kind of up, and he's like, no, Dad, no. And I'm like, come on, let's go. And he's like, no, and he's laughing. He's smiling. I don't think it's funny. And he's only 4.5 years old, but listen, he's going to learn a lesson today that if you make a commitment, by the way, this is different than quitting, and you don't stick to your commitment, you're not stealing from me. You're stealing from yourself. And I'm not going to be that parent that allows that to slide and accept it. It's bullshit to me. It's not acceptable in any way, shape, or form, even to my snotty-nosed 4.5-year-old son. Straight up. I don't allow it in my life, and I'm not allowing it in people around me. Now, listen, if he wants to go and do that shit when he's 18 years old, have at it. But you know what's beautiful about that? As I'm teaching him today, which he will sit down and we will have a conversation about it, I'd like to know what you guys would say or do with your 4.5-year-old kid. But as I sit down with him and have this conversation, it's a real talk. I believe I'll have multiple conversations like this with him. And I'm not even mad. I'm disappointed. Because when you say you're going to do something to yourself and others, and you don't do it, not because you don't want to, just because it might be hard for the moment, you're setting an example. If you let him slide today, it's a slippery slope for life. It's funny. Everyone's like, oh, man, these millennials are so lazy. They don't want to work. Well, have you ever asked yourself who the hell raised these kids? It's you. Your sloppy ass raised them. Yeah. The people around you raised these punks. It's not the kid's fault. Eventually it is, but Dude, you understand a kid is modeling and molding and their thoughts are being portrayed by the parent. It's okay, son, start that and quit that today. It's okay. You don't have to show up. Oh, they said what? Oh, they're being a bully. Let's blow it up on Facebook and say they're being a bully. Snowflakes, man. My son and daughter will be taught hard lessons that will serve them well, very well in the future. And as a parent, I believe it's our duty and obligation to conversate about this stuff. I will sit down and talk to him. It will be a straight up heart to heart, as if he's a 20-year-old kid, obviously with a little bit of, not maybe different words, but he needs to know Dad's not mad, he's disappointed. And Mark, when you say something, you do it, period. I know I don't want to get up. Daddy doesn't want to get up either in the morning, but we have to. Why? Because we said we're going to. The connection from that to that, you understand, it seems so simple. You know why? Because it is. Secondly, it's so simple, most people don't do it. Because they're like, sweep it under the rug, sweep it under the rug. And then you raise these punks to go out, and then you're like raising bad people. Bad providers to the economy, the world. I want my kids to be thinkers. I want my kids to be doers. I don't want them to be lazy, complacent, victimized all the time. You're in control. You said you're going to do it, you do it. Now, with that said, here's what happens next with me. Mark, if he says he wants to go on a walk, by the way, he asked me to do it. I didn't ask him. If he's asked me again to go on a walk, and I say, and we conversate, we accept it. If he does not wake up the next time, he will have a bucket of water poured on him, and he will get up. And now I'm not asking him to get up and go. I'm telling him he's going. See, like I'm ingraining success principles. Do you understand that every successful person you know, every single one, pushes through walls that they don't want to push through? Do you know how much stuff I do daily that I don't want to do, but I have to do it? It's our job. The difference is, back to the quitting stuff, the difference is I'm on a path of where I'm going, not with where I'm at. And I'm constantly evolving, quitting the old me, quitting the old me, quitting the old me. Like Mark needs to quit saying he's going to do something and start, if he says it, he does it. That's a good quit. Not like, oh, I'm going to do it, Dad, and then quit and do nothing. No, he needs to stop being the old Mark that was okay with that, thinking it's okay to do that, and it's not. So you got to quit, become a new person. Who do I need to become to get what I really want? Well, you got to get your ass out of bed when you say you're going to get out of bed. You got to eat right when you say you're going to eat right. Yes, it's hard. I'm telling you, yesterday I talked about this. I get out of bed at 4:44 in the morning. At the latest, typically, not 100%, but a lot of percentage. As soon as I get out of bed, I go straight, take a leak, brush my teeth, and walk right out of that room. Because if not, I'm looking at the bed, and I'm looking at my wife, and I'm like, man, that looks so much better right now. It's almost like zombie effects, like boom, 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 open the door, and then thank God I got out of that mess. Okay, now I need to focus. Let's go gratitude session, right? Or whatever. So, again, get out of the environments that are allowed, like still today, still boom, boom. Like you have to be consciously focused on these actions, right? Hey, Matt, what's up, Matt G? Powerful lesson, the difference between you and the average father. You do what you say, most talk and never do, so words become cheap. Yeah, Matt, you're right. I believe that 100%. We see it everywhere. A lot of people say, do as I say, not as I do, right? We've all been told that. Kevin, yes, agreed. If you make a commitment, you need to honor your word. Too many people just say something and agree to something in the moment or just to get what they want. Absolutely. So all these things that I want to do, powerful, to lose 48 pounds, you have to become someone else to achieve your goals, same as life. TK, good job, buddy. So what are you quitting today? What are you going to quit today? See, the thing is not when, like if Mark quits saying he's going to do something and actually does it, that's a good thing, right? He's not a loser. He's actually a doer. So it's how do you use words to motivate you? How do you use words to make you, to drive you to create decisions? It's easy to say you want to be successful, until you have to do what successful people do. I know it looks easy, kind of is once you understand it, but it's still hard. There's still that force that tries to pull you back to the old you. It's natural. It's kind of like a rubber band, right? Zzz, zzz, it's always pulling you back. The key is how do you make that rubber band bigger, less resistance. But you have to quit talking. You have to quit micromanaging. You have to quit acting like a business owner. Admit you're not and figure out how to become. You have to quit being a terrible husband. You have to quit being a bad dad. You have to quit talking and start doing. And I'm not judging you. I'm just saying these are the things I'm saying myself. Like me and my wife getting in a fight, I was like, I got to quit being a dick. I got to figure out how to be a better communicator. I got to quit being the old communicator and start being a better communicator. I got to quit acting like I know everything on this topic because I don't. I got to quit acting like I can do it better than anybody else, right? In business, we always think, give me the phone. I can do it better than you. Give me the internet. I can do it better than you. I got to quit acting like I can do it better than you. Listen, even if I can, it's not going to get me to where I want to go. I can't call 1,000 people a day. I can call 100 people a day. But if I have 50 people calling 20 people a day, see what I mean? It's different. It's extremely hard to be successful, especially when you face adversity. Everyone faces adversity. Adversity, again, these are very big words that if you don't have meaning behind them, every single person faces adversity. Adversity is relative. It's all relative. Did you get beat? Did you have everything handed to you, right? There's billionaire kids that have adversity because they have too much money and they've never had to work for it. So they're struggling with adversity of how to deal with the real world, how to deal, right? That's a real thing. And then you got the middle road of that. Then you got the lower side of the bottom side of that. There's a lot of adversity. I don't look at things as like that, honestly. And Sterling, I'm not saying it to be silly, but I think for me, I'm more focused, adversity, I don't see it as adversity. I see it as moments in time. I'd love to have an example of what we're talking about, but to me, it's adversity is, it's called life. It's the journey. I don't see it as adversity. It sucks sometimes, but hey, Alice, hey, my dad used to be very tough on me with a lot of stuff. I was growing up. I never understood it. And sometimes I thought he didn't love me. Years after, I look at him in the eyes and I told him, I'm so thankful for the way you raised me. Otherwise, I cannot handle all the difficulties. That's awesome, man. Listen, I'm trying to be, there's a happy medium with all this, right? I hope my son knows I love him to death. If I didn't love him, actually, I think there's a form of abuse, children abuse going on with allowing kids to slide by life and not do anything. I think, I see people put these memes of a 200-pound 8-year-old and they're laughing about thinking it's funny because their kid's big. I think, dude, that's a form of child abuse to me, in my opinion. And I'm not judging that person. I just think it's bullshit that they would ever do that to a child and think that's cool. I see little kids running around and they're totally overweight and they're jamming McDonald's down their throat and mom and dad is acting like they have their shit together. It's child abuse. Listen, give a kid a salad or a McDonald's hamburger. What are we taking? We're all taking the cheeseburger, right? So, I think there's a lot of levels on here, but I digress. Anyways, we got to quit eating that junk and get eating better stuff. But, again, quitting is a funny thing because, like I said, that degree on the wall, I picture the person listening to this, the person I can touch the most is that person. And I know a guy like this. He went to accounting school and he was the number one kid in his school. This is a true story. And he did not want to let his parents down. That was his biggest driver. So he got a degree. He hated every day of his life in school to appease his parents. He actually hated it so much he wanted to show him he could be the number one student. For real. He used it in the negative to show that he could be number one. And as he did this, he got out, graduated, had $180,000, $200,000 in debt, student debt, and got a job at $63,000 a year in Jersey, which is not a lot of money in that marketplace to live. Still lived with his parents, actually, at that time. And he had to go to his parents and had to quit. He's like, I can't do this. He hated his job, right? Hated it. Like literally would rather not be alive than go to work. And the reason was because he wasn't him. He wasn't being him. He was trying to appease other people. Like, we all realize we only have one shot at this thing called life. I'm not saying be disrespectful. By the way, if my son came to me and said, Dad, I want to be a ballerina dancer, my first thing is you better be the best fucking ballerina dancer in the world then. Not like, oh my God, my son's going to be a ballerina dancer. Like, dude, if that's what you want to be it. But don't half-ass it. You got to get serious. What are you learning? Who are you learning from? What are you going to be known as? How long do you want to do it for? What's your schedule look like to be the best at this? You know, who are you mimicking? What are they up to? What's their schedule? What do they eat? What do they do? What do they think about? What do they listen to? What do they read? That's where my brain goes to instantly, right? Sean, I used to be called helicopter parents. Now it's called bulldozer parents. We remove all obstacles from their kids and they never learn it. Yeah, listen, you can act like people around me, like my kids fall, boom, get your ass up, let's go. Not like, oh my God, man, you know, like whatever. Like, listen, obviously there's certain time. Well, a couple of days ago I was at the ER with my daughter with her leg jacked up. So, you know, it's like, oh, okay, we got to address it. Let's talk about it. Honey, you're sweet, you're strong, you got this. You stay focused, you got this, you're strong. This is a 1-year-old, right? We're saying this. It's not like, oh my God, it's not your fault. Oh my God, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Oh, like, dude, raising a bunch of weak-minded people, sheep, if you will, as my boy Sean would call it. And they're just, it's snowflake-ish. Do you understand? We all have to deal with stuff. We all have to. The question is, how do we deal with it? You know what I mean? And I just hope people, you know, realize this conversation is way bigger and can change your life. Like my buddy, the guy I'm talking about earlier about this accounting job, you know, when he decided to make the move, he literally changed his life forever. The way he lives is amazing. He gets to do what he wants to do. He makes more money than he's ever made. He has more fun than he's ever had. He's has an amazing family, teaching him differently, a little bit off the grid, which is awesome because it's what he's good at and he loves it. So, you know, like even for me, like when we told people we're homeschooling, like, oh my God, what about the social piece? Dude, that's just ignorance when you say that. What about it? You don't think people are like, shit, the kids going to school aren't social. They're looking at their phone the whole time anyways. My kids are more social. Why? Because they don't have cell phones. They're not allowed to be in front of that computer like that. We don't allow it, right? I'm the boss. And if you don't like it, get out of my house. You know what I mean? So that's how I think about that stuff. And, you know, and when people are talking like, you know, they could judge you. I don't care about being judged. I'm judged no matter what. Therefore, you got your shit all figured out. Your kids hate you. Your dog doesn't look at you, and your spouse is they're out cheating on you. But you got your shit figured out, right? And you're out there telling people what to do, what not to do, and how to do it. Sounds pretty smart to me. Yeah, I should probably take advice from that person, right? Well, that's what's going on. And I'm not saying I have all my shit figured out. I'm not even acting like it. But I can tell you this, it's a journey, and I have my thoughts, and I'm going to implement my thoughts, just like our parents did, just like my grandparents did. But I'm trying to be more open-minded about it. I'm trying to be more conscious of my actions. I'm trying to be more conscious of my conversations. I'm trying to be more proactive, if you will, on having uncomfortable conversations. You know, everything I'm sharing with you a lot of this you have to get uncomfortable having a conversation. Like, hey, bud, we need to talk. You're my boy, but Dad loves you, but, and that's the reason I do love him. If I didn't love him, I'd keep letting him slide. I love him so much, I actually got to address a situation that's going to be, he's going to, I'm sure he'll cry. I'm sure he'll get mad. I'm sure he'll do something crazy. But for me, it's a real conversation. It's not meant to beat him up, by the way, right? He's only 4.5. It's really meant just to kind of acknowledge it. And it's important. It's very important. By the way, you should acknowledge this shit with yourself. You said you were going to get up this morning on time. Did you? You said you're going to send those 6 letters out this morning. Did you? You said you're going to take that walk this morning or work out this morning. Did you? See, I'm conscious of me. I'm not a victim to anything. You have, like, I'm my own person. I'm my own, you know, here's the post I did today earlier. If you're not following on Instagram, you should, because I do these wakey posts. Wakey 444. Who's the common theme in your story? The only way to get a better story is to develop you. You understand every story you have, you're the common theme. Could be anybody around you, but you're the common theme, right? Clearly, it's your story. The way you have better stories, the way you change your stories is to change you, to quit being the pussy, to quit being the complainer, to quit being the crybaby, to quit being the liar, to quit being the procrastinator, to quit being the micromanager, to quit being the loser mentality, to quit being the saver, be an investor. Like, there's so many things we all need to quit to get to the next level. But the problem is you're afraid you're going to get judged. I know it. I already know why you're not quitting. You know you need to quit 90% of the shit you're doing. Quit overspending on consumables to look cool. You don't need the Louis Vuitton purse. You don't need the Gucci belt. If you can't afford it, don't buy it. To be cool, why? They don't even like you probably anyways. Like, seriously, you understand that, right? Quit being so shallow. Quit being so judgmental. Quit being so, overreactive. We need to start becoming proactive. We need to start being more open-minded, right? We need to start being more aware. We need to start aware of us, aware of others. We need to quit being so thinking we know everything. We're better than that. Raising sheeple, right? Exactly. Do you guys have any questions or comments on this? Because as I'm sitting here talking, I don't want to just talk. I could talk about this stuff all day. Actually, I do talk about this stuff all day. This is the conversations I'm having with my friends. It's conversations I'm having with my wife and my kids. And I'm thinking about how to be better. Last night we're talking with my son, and I'm constantly talking to him about what we're doing and how we're generating money. And you need to quit being broke mentality. You need to quit acting like you don't want to be rich, but secretly you do. I want to be stupid, filthy rich. Why wouldn't you? It doesn't take away from anybody. If you're bringing value to a marketplace, why can't you be stupid, filthy rich? By the way, it's not for the money, it's for what the money can do. I'm not in love with the money. If I was in love with the money, I'd have a lot more of it. You know what I mean? I give away a lot of money. I do a lot of things with the money. I hire a lot of people with the money. I do a lot of stuff with the money. I'm a steward. I genuinely believe it's our job to be a steward. If you get a lot of money, steward it correctly, not just blow it to blow it. Yes, it's okay to have nice things. Quit acting like you don't want nice things when you see you do. You know you do. Why wouldn't you? And again, stop judging me because I have a Rolls Royce or a big watch or a big house or whatever. That's more about you than me. Stop focusing energy on other people. Quit focusing energy. You can use it as inspiration, but if it discourages you and you don't know how to compartmentalize that as, how does it encourage you, you need to stop and quit being judgmental. That's a judging piece, by the way. You don't know what, let's say if I buy this car behind me, it might be 0.5% of my wealth. Half. Some people might buy it and it might be 200% of their wealth. Who knows, right? At the end of the day, that's what it's about. You don't know. So why judge it? Maybe someone gave it to me as a gift. How do you know? You don't. So why put any mental thought, capacity, energy into it? You know what I mean? Quit thinking you need to know all the details before you take the next step. It doesn't serve you. I'm not saying don't be knowledgeable, but stop trying to overthink everything. Tyrone says, how do you continue to keep yourself climbing up that mountain and quit the bad habits when you have those days of doubt? Tyrone, I'd love for you to hop on. I don't understand the full question, so I just want to make sure I'm clear. Beacon, share with them how to hop on, Tyrone. Matt G. Oh, man, that was a huge piece to learn. I think a lot of it. Yep. Bad habit. Can you put Tyrone's thing on here? I think I can, yeah. How do you continue to keep yourself climbing up the mountain and quit the bad habits? Here's, again, we all have bad habits, first of all. I don't know what bad habits we're referencing here, but there's a lot of different types of bad habits, clearly. And biggest difference is where I'm at today, I'm not happy. I want to be up here. I want to be a better person. I want to be a better human. I want to be a better communicator. I want to be a better dad. I want to be a better leader. I want to be a better husband, better father, better brother, better son, better speaker, everything. You guys know when I get done with these shows, I sit down and create a couple notes of how to better communicate or articulate a conversation to help you make an impact in you. It doesn't change. Like, I want to be better at everything I do. Like, why wouldn't you? And if bad habits, like for example, if I want to go out and get fucked up and go drinking, right? The problem is it's a depressant for me. I enjoy drinking once in a while. I don't drink at home. I haven't drank much this year at all, actually. But it's a depressant. It makes me depressed. It makes me sad. For the moment, I'm trading 5 hours or 6 hours of time to get wasted with my buddies or even myself sitting at the club, drinking to ruin 3 days of my life, because the next 3 days are going to be rough emotionally, mentally, and physically for me. I'm going to eat bad. I'm not going to work out with any intensity if I even work out. I'm going to be self-doubting everything I did. Hopefully I didn't black out. Hopefully I didn't treat my wife like shit. Hopefully I was present when my kids were in the room when I was half wasted or fully wasted. Like, that's the stuff that's a bad habit I don't like the feeling of. Therefore, I don't like to continue to do it. It doesn't serve anything I'm trying to accomplish. And I'm not knocking having fun, but like, for me, I don't have that motor, that skill. Like, I'm in or out. There's really not in between for me. You know, when you're pounding the drinks, I don't have that thing that says, you should probably stop drinking now. I drink a lot of liquids, period. If it's water, if it's coffee, if it's anything, I just drink a lot of liquids. And if you put alcohol in that liquid, guess what? It's I don't have that machine that says, enough's enough, Mark. You probably should slow down or drink a water. And then I tell myself, well, I'll drink one drink and drink a bottle of water, drink another drink, drink a bottle of water, and then I'll regulate it. Well, that works for about 2 bottles of water. Then after that, I kind of forget about it because then I'm in the zone. You know what I mean? Complacency kills. Keep improving yourself and creating a better you every day. Absolutely, Daryl. So that's the kind of stuff I'm thinking about over here, and I like quitting. I like quitting my old self. I like quitting on things that don't serve me. I like quitting bad relationships. I think you should quit more often. That's what I think. It served me well, and it continues to serve me. And again, be conscious of when I say quitting, that you understand what the term means of quitting. You know what I mean? Listen, if you're out boozing every night, don't you think you should quit boozing every night? You should probably quit. You'd probably be better off, don't you think? If you're out smoking dope 24/7, thinking it's cool and it's going to support you. I'm not judging it. Smoke it once in a while, but you don't need to be a stoner 24/7. I get it. But like, you got to stop. You got to quit. If you're trying to please people around you just to please them, you got to quit. You know, quit them and start on you. Did you? No, I didn't, Rob. What's up, Tom? Do I need to? That's not how that works, by the way. It's not about 75 on, 75 off, 75. Like, it's nothing. It's not like that. We got to quit. You know, you get negative. You're watching the news all day. You should probably quit watching the fake news all day. And by the way, all news is fake news, mostly. Pretty much all of it. One of the biggest lessons I learned from you was comparison is the thief of happiness. Quit comparing. Absolutely, Matt. Matt and I had a lot of conversations on that. So many of you are comparing. Actually, pretty much everybody's comparing. And there's always someone bigger. There's always someone badder. There's always someone that has a bigger wiener. There's always someone that has a smaller wiener. There's always someone that has better looks, worse looks. There's someone that has more money, less money. It's a lose. No one wins with comparison at all. You know that, right? There's zero benefit of comparison. Now, I might see someone that's succeeding in life as a dad, and I want to become a better dad. I might connect with them and try to hire them to help teach me how to be a better dad. That's not comparison. That's awareness. It's different. I'm aware I want to be a better dad. He's being a better dad, and I'm seeing it, not him talk about it, but I'm actually seeing it take place in front of me, right? What's up, Tyrone?
What's up? Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear, man.
Okay. So, yeah, actually, it was a typo. I guess I was typing too fast. It's quit climbing the mountain. So it's just basically like I said yesterday, I'm a one-man team in New York and trying to get my real estate thing going. I got my mindset right. I'm meditating every morning. I'm working out, got the routines, doing the marketing, like you were saying yesterday, for the website and everything. I'm starting to get leads, but it's just, I'm by myself. So these morning talks really help me to keep myself focused.
Awesome.
But then it's just the days when I'm by myself or like in between the middle of the day when you don't think it can work here in New York, which I know it can, but you get that a lot, that people saying that it can't really work in New York.
What part
Go
of
and
New York?
try to Westchester County,
Yeah.
so in the Yonkers area.
Yeah.
Yonkers, White Plains, New
I know.
Rochelle.
Yeah.
So
Well, I mean, here's the thing: is you got to gamify it. It's a game to me, man. Go get 100 no's today.
yeah,
Have fun with it. Like you're making it a grind. It's not a grind. It's a gift.
yeah.
You're getting to sit at home. You're getting to hang out. You're getting to do what you want to do. Why wouldn't? It sounds like you're hanging out with the kiddos, which is awesome.
Yeah, that's my reason for it. Chelsea.
What's up, Chelsea? How old is Chelsea? How old are you, Chelsea?
She actually just turned 2 last Tuesday.
Ooh, happy birthday. That's awesome.
So yeah, I'm actually like I'm really getting my stuff together. I'm not using before I was doing all this stuff, having a CRM and all that bull crap. Now I'm just using Google Sheets. If I text somebody or if I call them, I jot it down so I know I can get back to them in a month or so. So it's really hard when you're doing it by yourself, and that's my main thing.
Well, what's hard about
it? I actually opened that door, so I totally appreciate you just making me walk through it. I guess it's maybe the things that I've been telling myself in the past, but then I'm always, I have that conflict with myself because I know what I'm doing is right. It's just not going to happen overnight. And a lot of people see like your Rolls Royce in the back and everybody else that's putting up their cars and things like that. Sometimes most of them are rented and people don't even know that. And they think that, God, what I'm doing is not working. But if you continue just chipping away, it eventually you'll see the light and things will start to happen. So,
you ever go to the gym? You ever go work out at a gym?
I used to, but I when I used to go to the gym, I would get distracted by the ladies and get myself in trouble. So I work out, now with the quarantine, and that's another thing. With the quarantine, I don't look at it as I'm stuck at home. I look at it as how can I make these 4 months, what can I do in these 4 months that I don't have to go back to work? It's like if I have that option of wanting to go back to work, then I can go back to work. And that's what I ask myself every morning.
I love it, man. The reason I bring up the gym conversation is like you walk into a gym and you see that guy with his shirt off and he's ripped, right? He's ripped. Like, are you discouraged or encouraged?
Oh, I'm encouraged.
Okay.
I've always been like that.
Did that happen in a day, a week, a month, a year?
No, exactly. It takes time.
In the back, dude. I bought my first Rolls Royce 12 years deep in the game.
Yeah.
This doesn't happen overnight. This is a process. Not only that, dude, I'd rather have my kids in a Rolls Royce all day, every day, right? Yeah. I'm sure you would too.
No, so definitely.
We're thinking we're not succeeding because we might not have a car or a house or whatever, this or that. Dude, the truth is you're in the game. That's the most success you could be.
Yeah.
What like back to the thing is you're a one-man show, blah, blah, blah. Like, what does that mean? I don't know what that means, though. There's nothing wrong with being a one-man show. Why do you feel like it's hard, though?
Well, at this point, I'm doing everything. So whatever leads come in, I'm calling them. I'm doing the research, doing the comps on the properties. I'm doing everything right now. Now, do I want to continue?
You can do that in 2 minutes.
No, and it's not hard. It's that part is not hard. I've come to terms with that.
What part's hard? What part's hard?
There really isn't any part that's hard, exactly.
There's no part. You're making a phone call, talking to an individual. You're updating a Google spreadsheet. You're looking on Zillow.com from the comfort of your home. You're basically doing market research. There's nothing hard. You know? Again, back to what Matt Garabedian said. You're stealing your happiness through comparison.
Yeah, and I'm learning that as well too. Listening to you and other people, it's not about trying to have a six-figure business in 6 months. It's going to take time, and I'm coming to terms with that as well too. Like the flashy things don't do it for me. I could care less about Rolls Royce. Now, if I can afford one, oh yeah, that's great. But would I
Everyone
want to
cares about
drive
them when they
one?
can afford them.
Yeah,
I get
but
it.
but it's just not. It doesn't do it for me. As long as the car can turn on when I push start, I'm happy.
That's your
I've had my
defensive.
share of
That's your
hookies in the
defensive
past.
mechanism. That's your defensive mechanism for playing small. You're playing small, dude. That's why you're not happy every day. Dude, you know how many hats I got to wear every day? I miss the days when it was simple. Like yours is simple, dude. Your job is simple compared to my job. You haven't made. I'm not joking. I'm not being silly. I'm being for
Yeah,
real. You're not
yeah,
making $1 million decisions right now. You're not making that decision to fire the person that brought in $3.7 million last year. You're not making the decision to go all in on a marketing campaign that costs $2.5 million to get XYZ, that it might work. You're not the guy today making a decision. Do I put 200 grand here, 300 grand there, 2 grand there? What's going on with the tax situation? I miss the simplicity days. I
yeah.
truly do.
No, and I'm coming to terms with getting across that bridge of to continuing to market. That was a limitation that I put on myself as well too. That I was like, well, I'm marketing and I'm not getting any leads, but it takes time for the marketing to start to work. But again,
Maybe. What kind of marketing are you doing?
I only do Facebook ads, so I'm all in on Facebook ads. I try
Okay.
to do the bandit signs. I try to do the cold calling. The cold calling is not something that'll work for me, and I know that won't work for me. So that's why I just didn't
That's
go
cool.
down that avenue.
That's cool.
I've been thinking and like searching of what can I do that'll work 24 hours, 7 days a week to market. And I know a lot of people do the bandit signs. I tried the bandit signs going out at 1, 2 o'clock in the morning to 5 o'clock in the morning, putting them out. They they didn't work the way that they should have worked here in New York, whereas they work other places.
So everything we're talking, this is a drama conversation. I hear drama conversation there.
Oh, I'm
It
sorry.
didn't work. What's the data say? I don't know if it worked or not. Data. I put up 40 signs. I got 30 calls and 2 tire kickers and 1 opportunity. That's data I'm running off of.
Yeah.
It doesn't work because you have to work. That's why it doesn't work for you, because you got to do the work.
I did the data that came back from me putting out the bandit signs was, I put out myself about 60 signs a
Nothing.
weekend.
How many signs total?
I ordered 300.
Okay.
And I put out 60 and 40 if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
And what I was just getting is basically, maybe it could have been my fault. And just like you said, the drama, it was my fault. And I'm going to come to terms with that.
Yeah. So
Because
what happened?
people would call and they were like, well, I have a house for sale. You're going to give me $500,000 for it or anything like that. And then right away, when they would say something like that, I would just kind of like cut off the conversation.
It's your fault. It's your fault.
And that's what I just said. And
Tyrone,
I'm
the conversation is this. I want 500 grand. Listen, Tyrone, I'd like to pay you 750 grand. Why? Because that means I'm making more money too. Tell me about your house.
Yeah.
Like, dude, everyone wants what they can't have anyways. They're calling you from a bandit sign. They already got their guard up. Your job is to disarm them. That's your job. That's what you get paid for. That's how you make money.
So
Call all those people back. Now all of a sudden those signs work. Hey, you still selling the house for 500? No, I'm down to 250. Right, now we can talk. That's what the sellers sound like right there, like your daughter right there. Just start talking about what the market is now. I think at the end of the day, man, seriously, you got to sharpen your skills. Like every call that comes in is a massive learning opportunity. Why did you feel the way you did when they said 500 grand? That's the question. You don't have to answer, but that's the questions I'm at. Why is this not working? What can I do to be better? It's working. It's just not working for you.
Exactly.
So therefore, it's you in the equation. What can I do to change it? Maybe I change what the bandit sign says. Maybe I change the voicemail. Maybe I have to have them leave a voicemail before I call them back to qualify on the front end. You know what I mean? There's so many variables that you're in control 100%.
No, yeah, I think in retrospect, just when you just asked that question, why didn't work, and I think in my subconscious mind, it was just basically when they called and gave me some astronomical number for the property, I was just like, okay, I shut it off, because then it goes back to, this doesn't work here in New York. And I think that's what it was. Well, I'm not going to say I think that's what it was. That's what it was.
Yeah, I get it, man. It's a good learning lesson. It's good. These are things you need to think about on your own when you're sitting there by yourself. It's like, that's why I always talk about data, not drama, man, because everything you're saying is drama filled, right? It didn't work for me. It's astronomical, this and that. Dude, I got a call. My job is to convert that call into something. I'm either learning from it or I'm not learning from it. But what serves you the best? Learning. You know what I mean? I'm learning from it. And how do I enter the conversation tighter? How can I have a better how can I have fun? Dude, if you hear my calls, I'm playing around with everybody. You know, like, Tyrone, what's going on? You're like, who the hell is this? What? You don't know who this is? This is your boy Mark. I was talking to Steve down the street in the White House in the black shutters. He said, give you a call. You're looking to sell your house today. Steve who? I don't know his last name. I met him at the gas station. I was hanging out there getting gas, and he told me you're interested in selling. And then you have fun. Like, it's an entry. Boom, now gates down, now I'm conversating. That's your job. That's the only way you get paid. The only way. The reason you're not enjoying it, you're too robotic.
Never thought of it that way.
It's not hard, dude. How hard is it to pick up the phone? Oh, so my job. If you're thinking too much, you're overcomplicating simplicity. You know, dude, you're stealing from your future if you make it hard. It's fun, man. I love it. I'm telling you, there's a seller right now that needs your help. They'll never know you because you're not willing to put in the effort to get them to call you. I don't even run Facebook ads. I don't run them. You know, but Craigslist, Facebook, Marketplace, there's so many ways to do it. Man, I'm not saying not to do it, but what's your budget on Facebook ad?
Right now it's $30 a day.
Okay. What are you spending? How many leads a day are you getting?
It all depends. I actually just changed the pictures right now, so I'm getting about 2 to 3 a day.
It's amazing. $15 lead cost. It's absolutely amazing. Yeah. What are you converting from it?
Nothing.
There's always something that can be converted from those. Why are they calling you? What are they hitting you up about? Are they trying to sell or are they trying to buy? Are they yelling at you or laughing at you? Like, what are they doing? What's the goal? What's the calls?
There are a couple of idiots that, of course, that'll, just fill out the form just to fill out the form. And but then I also have I've gotten a couple of cash buyers from the ads as well, and some handymen. So
it's working.
Yeah, they are working, and that's the thing. That's why I continue to do them, even though, I'm furloughed from my job from now. But that doesn't scare me, because I know, if I continue hacking away, like I said, I'm going to see the light. So
yeah, just hope it's not a train at the other side, though. The light. So I'm telling you, man, you got to really just enjoy the moment. I'm telling you, you're in an amazing place. And by the way, it never happens fast enough. It doesn't happen fast enough for me. Everything I think is going to take a week takes a year. It's what happens. So just set your expectations properly. You got to quit comparing. You got to start setting better expectations. You got to start having fun. Dude, be grateful. Every time I get someone pick up the phone and talk, I'm grateful. My agenda is to help them. No more, no less. Period. You know what I mean?
Yes.
You're assuming that they're where you're at. I know, like when you said that when idiots fill out forms, I get it. I think that back in the day, the same thing. But dude, you understand, if that idiot, if we're calling an idiot in loose terms, could you imagine what their life's like to be sitting there filling out that form like they do? Dude, they got shit going on that we don't even want to know what's going on. I promise you that. Yeah. So I have compassion to that person. Like, hey, Tyrone, what's going on over there? F you. Oh, okay. So really tell me what's going on over there. F you. Like, dude, they're not mad at me. They don't even know me. They don't know what's going on. If they're that crazy, they don't even have a clue what's going on. Therefore, let me just plant a seed, conversate. I'm not trying to sell. There's clearly nothing to sell them at that point. And I'm not taking all my time to do this, by the way, but like, if I'm not doing anything, I'm making a call just to connect, compassion, and go with it. Are you reading scripts? That's what Sterling said. Are you reading scripts and all that, or what?
Yeah, I do have a couple of scripts, and I've purchased.
Throw them away. All of them are junk. All of them. I don't care the best of the best. You don't need a script, dude. You know how to talk. I'm talking to you now.
Yeah,
What's your script look like right now? You reading off the script right now, talking to me?
No, and it goes back to just like what you said like 5 minutes ago. It's I guess I am too like regimented, and now I'm starting to like. I wanted to read the script just to kind of get comfortable, but I've learned, and I've been learning and seeing that when I'm talking to homeowners, it just kind of like I just flow with the conversation now. But at the beginning, I wanted the script just to kind of, I guess, the how-to.
What's the most important things you need on a home seller to get on a conversation?
Basically, what repairs are needed in the property.
Are we talking call number one? We're talking call number one?
Yeah,
Okay.
Basically, and then what's old on the property if it gets to that point.
Why are you asking an intrusive question out of the gate? Why would you care what's owed?
I wouldn't ask it right away. Like,
why do you care what's owed on the
conversation?
Why do you care what's owed on the property? It makes no difference to you. Zero. It does not help you or any way, shape, or form negotiate a deal. It pisses clients off. That's what it does.
Okay.
It's intrusive. You know?
Gotcha.
It's an intrusive question. Therefore, you're throwing up a barrier of entry. Dude, here's the thing. If the house is worth $500 and your offer's $400 and they owe $380, why do we care what they owe? Even if they owe $500, why do I care? Yeah. They might come to closing with $120,000 at closing. It doesn't do anything to my offer. It just upsets them that you would even ask that question. Now, if I'm trying to do an owner financing or lease option deal, that's a different story. But none of that would be. I probably wouldn't even ask that on call one. I'd ask that on call two after I came to the discovery that, Tyrone, after talking to you, I think I have a better option. Have you ever thought about lease options or rent to own? Blah, 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 blah. And then like, well, we can't really do it, but based off everything you said, the biggest question is, how much do you owe? And you always ask the question prior, can I ask you a personal question? Of course. Well, a lot of people don't like talking about money, but I got to ask you this question. Okay, you ready? How much do you owe on your house? And then you disarm them. You allow them to open up to you at a different level.
Okay.
There's nothing, absolutely nothing. If you're a cash buyer, what they owe is important. Zero. And I don't care what anybody says.
Okay. That's some good insight for me. I'm glad I picked up. I was trying to get on the call with my iPad, and for some reason it didn't work. So then I had to run and get my phone. So I'm glad I got my phone and
me too.
Was able to speak to you.
You got it, Tyrone. Have fun, man. Be compassionate. Serve these people. They need your help. Have good conversations. Just be a good listener. Like that's a lot of these people that call amped up. They're actually usually your best deals. Because they got something going on in their life that they're standoffish. We've all been there. Think about when you slam the door on someone or hang up the phone or yell at someone on the phone. Like, you're not mad at them. You don't even know them. They just interrupted your situation.
Yeah.
And they're the ear to it. So if you know how to disarm that and relax them, you're getting deals galore, man.
Yeah. And that's the one good thing is that I've worked in the industry with people for over 20 years in the retail industry.
Oh, yes, firsthand. Then.
Yeah, and I've listened and I've learned to listen to understand, not to listen to respond. So it's just the fact of just getting on the phone, and that's the scary part. That was the scary part for me. I'm not going to say it is the scary part for me anymore.
The biggest thing you need to know. Absolutely, Sterling said that's what everyone says. You need a magic script. The script is hello, how are you doing? But the only real answer you can ask anybody on anybody in the real estate companies. My first question always is not how much do they want, how much do they owe, or anything. My first question is, why are they selling? If they say, well, I want to get maximum retail value and I'm just shopping for offers, I can't help you. I can't do a good deal with a non-motivated seller. I can't. So why even conversate about it? I don't need to know anything else. Nancy, we're talking right now. Tell me what's going on. Why are you selling? But, you know, like my son lives in the house. I'm sick and tired of dealing with him. He's not paying me. I don't like my daughter-in-law. I'm 82 years old. I'm going to die. The house was gifted to me, blah, 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 blah. House is worth 100. I know it's not, it's the terrible shape. I'm embarrassed to even have anybody over there. You know, if someone would just pay me half of that, I would take it today. Interesting. So who's kicking your son out, me or you? You know? By the way, I've had those calls. I have them on YouTube. If you guys check out YouTube, I have calls like that on YouTube with me calling people like that. You know, you'll hear, I've never, ever, ever done it. I think a script is the biggest scam in the world for guys like us.
Oh, okay.
Dude, you've never used a script in your life to get to where you're how old are you, 40?
I'm the same age as you, 42.
42. I'll be 42 in June. Don't rush it. So picture this. You've never had a script to get – you've gotten along life pretty well without a script. Why do I need a script to get on the phone?
It's true.
Dude, they're selling you on your insecurities. The reality is you're a good talker. You have good, you know, good voice tone and all that. Like the only thing you need to do is create the action, make the actions happen, and just have good conversations. Everything else will take care of itself.
Yeah. I just when you were speaking about that, about her, like, you know, the lady having her son in the house, I actually had a deal. I'm not going to say a deal because I don't like to phrase it like that. I had someone that I could help. And she wanted to get out of her house, but her husband is like, no, he's just vetoing everything. And she wants to go. The heat is not working. The roof has God knows how many holes in there. And she wanted to sell right away. And the husband just was like, nope, he wants retail for it when the property is not worth nowhere near retail. So it's just.
Yeah, man, listen, we can never do a good deal with a non-motivated person. It is what it is. You know, a lot of people try to figure out how to navigate that. There's no navigating. Listen, he's a shitty person, period. Straight up. If he's having his wife talk to you and he doesn't have heat, he doesn't have this, and that, like, he's a bad guy all around.
He is.
Terrible decisions. This is straight up. This would be my conversation. I swear on my life this would be. It'd be like, let's say her name's Nancy. Nancy, listen, based off everything you told me, it doesn't sound like you need to sell the house. It sounds like you need to call a divorce attorney.
Yeah. I think he's very abusive.
Serious, dude. I would say that because that's a real talk. That's a real conversation I'd have.
Yeah. And it's just, I feel bad for her. There's nothing I can do at this point, but it's just every time we're talking on the phone, it's when he's not there. And then when he's about to come in the house, she's like, I got to go. So I know he's very abusive to her. Clearly. Mentally and physically. I feel bad for her. Terrible. But you can't help everyone. You know?
No, her problems are not my problems, man. Listen, I didn't make the decision to be in the relationship. She did. Yeah. It is what it is. My job is to take care of myself and my family and do what I can. And not only that, I'm not here to save the world, man. One of my mentors always said, save yourself before you save the world. You know, we got bills to pay. We got a job to do. We got moves to make, you know. Exactly. So I know you're going to do it. Take that script, throw it out the window, man. You're a good talker. I think compassion, conversation, and help them. You cannot not do deals. It's impossible.
Yeah. Even in New York, right?
Even in, then the question is, why are you trying to do New York? Why does it have to be New York? Why can't it be? It's anywhere.
Yeah.
Virtual, dude, I've been doing virtual deals since 2005. I've done deals in many, many, many states. So does it have to be hard? There's a lot of easier markets. I don't have to live where I do deals. Do you?
Well, that is true. I just figured since I've never done one, that it would be great to do one that go through X to A to Z, like personally seeing it. But yeah, like you said, I guess you don't have to do it.
Do you live in a house now?
Yes.
Did you buy it or rent it?
Bought it.
So you went through the process. What do you mean? Like, I don't understand what you're doing. What's going to be the different process? You know?
I totally get it.
Dude, listen, people use virtual as like this is some like weird mystique thing. It's called business. It doesn't matter where you're at, where the seller's at, where the buyer's at, where the house is at. It's a formula. It's a very simple structure. All the same components, title company or lawyer to close it. You know, is the house worth this or that? It is what it is. Like why work harder than you have to? You know, if I was sitting in San Diego, California, I wouldn't do. I'm sitting in Florida. I've never done a deal in Florida except my own stuff, my own personal stuff. I don't do deals in Florida. I don't like it. It's too transactional, too transitional. I like steady Eddie Midwest markets, i.e. Columbus, Ohio, and Cleveland, Ohio. I've been there for 24 years, man.
There's a lot of. I was thinking about Cleveland, well, Youngstown, actually. This is my father. He lives there, but.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
You could crush it over there. My boy Nathan Bibb is killing it there. I'm actually funding a deal there today, actually. Buying it for 10 grand, we'll sell for 35 to 45.
Oof.
But keep doing the hard deals in New York, man. It's easy. I appreciate it. No, man, seriously, like why? Like,
no, I'll shift some of my Facebook advertisement. I'll do some research on what markets to look at, and then shift some of my.
Stay focused on your actions, though, man. Don't sidetrack it because I'm saying that stuff. But like, get serious. Like, just dude, make the calls, connect with people, help them. You'll do well.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate
it. Appreciate it, buddy.
All right, bye.
Cool, guys. Well, I got to bounce. I got a big call today. Youngstown's in the house. What's up, Rob? Yep, Rob, you as well. So you guys are amazing. Thank you guys for being here. I have to sit down and do this quick call with my team, actually 4 people, but we're talking about some cool stuff on the sell side, actually, the acquisitions, dispositions, and restructuring, which is really neat to do. But I'm here for you guys. If you guys need anything, keep it up. Thank you, Mike, Rob, Sterling, all you guys. Check out YouTube. I do have YouTube videos over there talking about how to, Mark Evans, I don't even know what they're called, but go to my channel. There's calls with me calling sellers. They're not staged in any way, shape, or form. I don't have time to stage anything. The stage is called life, just getting on the phone and having a conversation. It's not that hard. We're overthinking simplicity all the time. I still do it myself, so I get it. But get on the phone, listen, connect, throw out the scripts out the window, stop trying to figure out how to have a silver tongue and all that. You don't need it. That's all for people that are trying to grow massive businesses, especially when you're solo. Dude, just get on the phone. It's the best thing you can do for yourself and the sellers and the buyers and anybody if you're in any business. So thinking about you guys, quit being the old you and start being the new you. Appreciate you guys. Happy Friday. See you Monday. Take it easy. Peace.